Hello everyone. This is organizational structure. So we are going to learn what is organizational structure, what are the type of the organization structure, what really organization are following. Some of the organization structure topics are only in the theory. Actually, we are not following, but in your syllabus and your competence is to learn everything that is come under the organizational structure. So let's see. So organizational structure, so it has a two content. First one is organizing. It's a action. Then organization. Once we organize the activity, it will be automatically organization. So organizing in the organization. Organizing is the verb, organization is a noun. So it's organizing the activity. It will be standard, it will be procedure, it will be a process that will be followed by everyone. Then organizing activities will become a organization, right? So organizing relates to the way in which activities of organization are arranged. For example, department, function, regional reporting lines. For example, take divide the organization in the department wise. So we are saying, so this function, for example, take financial function should be divided in this way. So we have to organize the financial function in this way. Then HR department in this way. So every department of the not only the departmentalized, right? Even though not departmentalized, process are organizing within the department. For example, production department, we are keeping. So if we have the many product line, many products, so each and every product have the different procedure. So we have to organize the procedures in a correct order, sequence order, right? The means by believes that the whole organization can be analyzed into 5 components according to how they relate to the work of the organization, how they prefer to coordinate. That 5 component we will learn later in this video. The organization can be departmentalized on functional basis, geographical basis, product basis, brand basis, metric basis. This is the major part in your syllabus, right? Organization, how organization can be departmentalized. It means our organization is divided into separate pieces, separate unit. You can't organize the all the activity by the one head. One head delegate the some authority and responsibility and power to the second person, right? He will look after one portion of the organization. So then that head of the organization will delegate some authority, some responsibility and power to another person. He will look after the different person. That's why departmentalized means that head of the department, head of the organization will divide the each and every activity or each and every aspect in the organization based on this is 5 bases. That 5 bases is a major part in your syllabus. This organized structure is very easiest chapter in your syllabus. So easy to understand. They are already practically they are in the organization, but problem is we don't know what is the technical way for this practice. That is only we are going to learn here, right? See, first of functional wise, we already learned functional areas of the business in different chapters: marketing management, HR management, finance management, production and operational management, then technology part, IT department separately. So this is a functional basis based on the function of the organization, right? Very simple. Shareholder under the shareholder, board of directors there, board of directors under CEO there. Under the CEO, there will be board of director. Board of director consists the chief executive officer and chairman and the executive directors and non-executive directors. I believe you already know what is non-executive and executive. Executive means who are involving in the business process, business activity, day-to-day activity. Non-executive means those who are not involved with any activity in the business. They are there to look after the executive directors. That is they don't work. They never work. They are specialized in one activity. For example, in audit committee is the one of the subcommittee of the board of director. There are subcommittees under the board of director there, you will learn in the BFR subject. Financial reporting subject and auditing subject, you don't need to learn here, but just have an idea. Under the board of director, there may be a 9 or 10 directors. So each and every director will be given a separate functional area responsibility. Then one will give the accounts department, right? Finance director. One will give the HR director. So under him, HR manager will be there. So under the HR manager, there will be a HR department. This is how it's going. HR director, finance director will not directly involve in this function. They are looking after what manager is doing. If the finance director is the executive director, he is involving or she is involving, but not like a finance manager involves. That's why strategic level of the management is a board of director. Technical level of the management is always involving to coordinate the works. It's a technical management level. Then operational management level, so under him there will be supervisor, senior. Under him there will be line staffs. So looking after line staff is responsible of the operational management, right? So under the board of director there may be audit committee there, remuneration committee. The audit committee is responsible to make the ensure that the financial statement of the company or organization is not involved any fraudulent errors. That is ensured by the audit committee. So there are subcommittees there, remuneration committee there, nomination committee there, then related party transaction committee there, related party transaction committee there, risk committee there. So there are many committee under the board of director that is head by the board of director. There are board of directors, they have head by the department that committee, subcommittees are headed by the main board of director, right? So they separated the functions of the board of director and given. So in a functional basis, organization as a whole divided into separately, right? So functional basis, there are we have to see what are the advantages and disadvantages of the functional basis. That is just to please note down these advantages and disadvantages. I want you to write. So most of the time, if you only hearing and listening is not enough. You have to write at least what I am saying. I am simplifying the advantage and disadvantage I am giving you, so you will easily take down. And once this presentation uploaded, please mark into that presentation, right? Follow the presentation properly. So I make this presentation as a short note. So functional basis, we know finance accounts department is separate function, then HR department is separate function, then the production operational department is separate function, marketing department is separate function, marketing and sales department may be separated further. Sales department separate, marketing department separate, right? Then the customer relationship department, that is also may be separated from the marketing, sales, customer relationship, because marketing personnel are involving into market the product, market the company's brand. Sales personnel are involved into sell the product, making the sales to company. Customer relationship management are involved into see whether that customer really satisfied, and we try to keep the customer for long term. Reason is keeping the existing customer is less cost than the finding the new customer, right? That's the reason why we need to keep the good relationship with our existing customer, right? If you want to find a new customer, it is very difficult, right? We have to advertise first our product to them. Second, we have to see whether the customer is really will like our product, right? So we have to do many activities, many promotional activities. So it's very difficult to find the new customer. But existing customer, if left the company, it is cost. We have to keep, if there are any problem of the existing customer, we have to definitely satisfy that problem, right? That's why customer is the king of the business. You should treat your customer as the king. You should look after them perfectly, right? So you can't, because you are in a first level in the charter. That's why you can't understand what really I am saying, because I am saying customer is best. So you may think there are directors there, there are employees there. Don't employees having the importance within the company? Employees are within the company, but without the business, without the sales or without the profit, there is no business. The profit is given by the customers to us. So profit making is the main objective of the business. So it's given by the customer, given by the customer to us, right? The advantages, expertise is pooled. If one department, if the accounts department means, we know all the people working within the accounts department is accounting knowledge people. HR department people means HR knowledge people. IT department will IT knowledge people. So we aggregated all the knowledge into one place. So aggregated, very easy. So right. So we will learn what is the different organization structure. It's a extra. There's a normally it's like a mixed, right? It's like a mix. There are many organization structure followed by the many companies, right? That is not really going through the real theory. So for example, simple structure means only one head. It's like a sole proprietor. Under the one head there are many workers, right? So he will look after everyone. That is simple structure. He will look after everyone. There is no division or anything. If you want to do the accounts, he will take a one person and doing the accounts. If you want to make the tea, he will take the one person to make the tea. Other than this times, preparation of accounts and preparation of tea, other than this time, other times they will doing some works. It means that they will involving in the looking after the business. They will have to they will work within the customers, right? Sometimes it's a sole proprietor, small business, it's happening, right? Only 5 people working, at least 10 people working. So their premises also very big. So they showing the, for example, the phone shop, they showing the phones to customers. So everyone is involved in boss in the cashier, right? In cashier table, boss will be there. So once the customer everyone gone, so after 5 or 6 business will close. After 5 or 6, he will tell one person to make the tea. He will tell one person to go bank and deposit this thing. So that person involves in the operational part, sales part, right? Marketing also, customer relationship also. He marketing this product, customer relationship also. He has to talk with the customer very politely, right? So involving that simple structure, it's like a mix, right? So advantages of the functional basic. First one is expertise is pooled. So accounts department means we know all the person know accounts knowledge people. Then avoid duplication, exam management accounts department rather than several and enable economies of scale. If a departmentalize separated, right? So one work is given to one person, right? The other department person will not do the works done by this department, right? If we not separated, right? Maybe duplicated works done. For example, take no departments there. So one person will say 10 employees are working in a company, right? So each and every time when sales sales occur, so every 10% maybe have the bill receipt. So receipt they will write the receipt and they will give the bill to customer. So everyone is working with the billing, right? So it's a manual billing. Simply we taking the example. So manual billing. So once the each and every time when the sales done, he will have the book and writing, I did this much of sales this time. So each and every day, all the 10 people will keep the record, right? All the 10 people will do the same works, right? It's a Billing works are done by all 10 people. Sales are done by all 10 people. Accounts are done by at least 2-3 people we have to take and do. So this billing process can be given to 2%, 3%. Only you look after billing system. So errors and duplication of the entries may not become. Right? Then facilitate the recruitment, management development and functional specialist. If you divide the functional basis, the knowledge of the people will be pooled in one area. So they will work. The 3% is allocated only for billing, means after 2 months they are expert in that work. Otherwise they are doing every work and not concern of the one work. They will be all rounder, right? In an organization, all rounder cannot win. If I am the head of the department and accounts, can I do the HR works? If I do the HR work in tomorrow, so day after tomorrow I will do the marketing work. So 3 days I allocated this accounts, HR, marketing. So specialized means I have to get a more experience. How can I get the experience quickly? If I involve 2-3 works, if I were only involved in one work, I will get the more experience. So third advantage is it facilitates more experience, more specialized in that activity, right? Then it suits centralized business. It means centralized and decentralized. I already explained. Centralized means we keeping the authority and power in one place, right? We don't delegate to branches or divisions their responsibility. Decision making is done by only one person, head of the company, right? It may be head office taking the decision, and resources and what have to be what should be our sales, what should be our profit, what should be our cost are decided by the head office. No authority to pass to department. So if a department is the organization activities are departmentalized. So if we give you the autonomy to the each and every department, you can decide whatever you want, means so head of the department will not have the power to keep the control over this department. So centralized organization means power keeping the head of the department. So definitely they know without our consent these departments are not taking decision. So it's good. We keeping the power with them and we just giving the only activity, only operational part, only activity and process procedures. You can do this, you will do this, you have to do this, but they don't give the authority of taking the decision. They can't change the procedure. They can't we stop 2 days, we stop this work and 2 days we will do the other works. They can't decide. So centralized business is good, it's better approach. Then disadvantage is process input rather than customer and the output, which are if you give the accounts. That's why in nowadays also companies suffering of this functionalized functional basis departmentalized, because accounts department personnel will not concern about the marketing or sales. They telling I am responsible for accounts department. I am did my information properly, audit report proper, accounts report properly. Why are you telling if boss tell this time net profit is less, so we are not willing to pay the bonus this time. So accounts department personnel will fight. They will say we are not responsible to net profit, we are not responsible to sales. Why you punish us? Punish the sales department only. It's happening. Can we say that's why responsibility separately divided, so everyone will not try to achieve the profit. Everyone will try to achieve their process and procedures only. Whatever given to them only they will do. So finally sales and marketing department will get the punishment by the this board of director companies if functional basis is happen. That's why nowadays we have the problem. That's why marketing and sales should be responsible by the all the department. Marketing are responsible by all the department. Now recently after 21st century only we are talking about that. Now 21st century, before 21st century there are book writers have already written books. These are the theories, but actually companies are not following nowadays. Only competition is high. So if you start the business within the 2 months, if you're making the profit in that business, within the 2 months new entrants will come and start same business. So competition automatically increasing. Nowadays people are hurry in making money, making business, winning the customer. That's why functional basis will stop everyone to involve in the company's whole objective, right? Then communication problem comes. It means accounts department and HR department, IT department. You may see this in your organization also. They have automatically formed the team. If IT department one person did the wrong to accounts department, all the accounts department will revenge him. It is happening. So if there any small communication problems there, so HR department is separate place, right? So for example, like me and my friend working in a company. So I am accounts department and he is the HR department head. So me and he separated and looking after different activity, different function. So I have a good knowledge and communication with my friend. He also understand me and he also good communication with me. So we are already we have worked together. So company decided to separate the function. So after separate the function, we don't have that much of influence. For example, take he has resigned. So another one come, right? He does not know me because he has not worked with me. He working his HR department. He thinks this is my department. I don't care about it. That's happening. So when we growing, so automatically people are automatically separated. When functional wise, if a current employee is separated by functional wise, current employees have the good mutual understanding. But once the one person changes, another person come, he has not work like a mutual understanding. He has come freshly and work in that department only. That is happening. So he has no good communication between them. I believe you understood that. Then poor coordination definitely there. So IT department always it's happening once the new accounting system implemented in a company, right? Accounts department people form a team, right? They will say they will divided by the group. They will say sales and payment side should be given to this 3%. Then financial report preparation done given to this person. Then reconciliation, bank reconciliation done to this 2-3%. So they are formed a group within the company to within that function to implement this ERP system quickly. So this ERP system is implemented by the separate outsourced company with the help of our IT department. Our company's IT department. So our IT department will come and with the help. We have to purchase the ERP from outside, right? Outside company, IT company. So they will come and IT related knowledge is possessed by the IT department people. So IT department people come and coordinate with them and they install. So once the ERP system installed, so after that IT department personnel will instruct the accounts department to do the works. So accounts department also require any problem if any problem comes in ERP system, they ask the problems from the IT department. So it's a separate department. So there might sometime problems comes, right? Sometime today IT department personnel in different place. We are in different place. If there are any problems comes, we have to request the IT department. So they will come and check. So again tomorrow if problem comes, we have to go there and again ask them to come here. So if they are working with us, so each and every time he is involving. So for example, if not functionalized our organization, we are responsible for everything. So if the IT problems comes, right? If IT problems come or not, I am always involving in the accounts works and the IT works. So taking the works from other person is very difficult. That's why less coordination will be automatically occur, right? Then the geographical basis means it is mostly done by the multinational companies who are involved in the different countries should have to establish the different organizations in that company. It's maybe we are going to establish the subsidiary company in the other place, or we are going to shareholders are like to launch or establish new companies there. The same shareholder, right? It's maybe subsidiary company, or it's maybe a different company under the same shareholder, right? It is different. It's called SBU, right? SBU means for example, take our company has the organization structure, right? Organized CEO there, board of directors there, everyone is there. If we want to market our products in India, but rather than we are exporting to India, we can establish one company there. If you open the one company, we have to form a board of director there, chief executive there, we have to recruit the employees there. That is different. The different people will work there, but under the one umbrella. Maybe a subsidiary of our Sri Lankan company, or maybe the sister company. If we are under the different parent, that parent will own that company, and that parent will own the Sri Lankan company also. So different SBU. So but same product, same technology using, same brand using. So different places we can establish our company. So geographical wise also we are different in our organization structure, right? It is mostly meshed to the subsidiary companies. Subsidiary companies are open in different many places, so it is easy them to so also it's always it's maybe the decentralized authority also given to them. So different SBUs. SBU means strategic business unit. Strategic business unit 1. So CEO. So strategic business unit 1 CEO, North America 1 CEO, right? So under the CEO North America, we can have the second SBU, 2 subsidiary in North America. So third strategic business unit in, so North America we can see 4 subsidiary there. South America 4 subsidiary there. So Europe 4 subsidiary there. Different organizations, but ultimately this all the board of directors working in different companies will come under the board of director of our Sri Lankan company, our parent company. That's how that structure was established, right? So once the geographical basis structure was established, different organizations will establish. Otherwise, branches can be established. So they have the decision making authority there. That's a good advantage. It's a good advantage. They don't need to wait until the parent company tell, right? They will work autonomy. With different business. If we make the profit or loss, they will report to the board of director, and board of director report to the shareholder. So shareholder will decide that, right? It is under the one parent. There are different SBUs launched and operated in a different location, different countries, right? Sometimes geographical areas we are going for the another one country because of the less cost, maybe the reason. So we can consume the opportunity of what the other country having. For example, Bangladesh are cheaper labor. We can have from the Bangladesh country. So if you, that's why more than 90% of the garments in the Bangladesh are outsourced. 80 to 90% garments are not a Bangladesh garments, but owned by the Bangladeshians. But that's companies are coming from Europe, coming from America. They open the subsidiary company and they get the Bangladesh labor, because Bangladesh having 60 million population, 16 crores, more than 16 crores. Therefore, they actually have no resources. They have the only human resources. That's the problem. They can give their human to the production. They don't have the resources. Have you heard that Bangladesh having any resources like Sri Lanka having? No tea plantation, then many agricultural products. Most of the Bangladesh items are imported from foreign company, but it's very less to have the employment side. So service side only Bangladesh improving. So they can give the humans being as a resource, right? So we can go there. And disadvantages for this geographical is duplication and inconsistency, right? For example, take we are operating in a autonomy in Sri Lanka. So our SBU, not our SBU, we also SBU and different SBU that's under the same parent also working in a different country. If you have taken a decision, we have to analyze and research and did the study, and we taking the decision. But that decision is not passed to that company. That company don't know what decision this Sri Lankan company taken. They also have to work for that. Right? For example, take we are going to launch the phone. Without the buttons. So without the buttons, we are going to launch the phone. So we did the research and customer preference and the study and what technology available in order to make that phone, and we producing that product. So it's launch production, right? Once we did not launch yet, but we are going to launch. We found everything and it's last stage of launch. This is not involved by that board of director or that company operational staff. So they don't know what action we are taking. Right? They also may be involved in that same research, same study. Right? Once until they launch the product in market, we don't know whether they are also doing that strategy, because we are working autonomy. Right? Decision making is with us. They also having decision making with them. So duplication will be there. We cannot share our research and our innovatives to them. Right? The inconsistency is also same. Our quality. So what we working will not be same what they work. Right? It's maybe different. Right? So come under the different end. CEO is different in our Sri Lankan company. CEO is different in that company. So their leadership style also may be different. So based on the leadership style, right, the employees will react. Right? So their working ability and quality characteristics may be different. Right? Under the different leaders we are working. Right? Then another topic come under this geographical basis is under the parent company. Parent company will not involve any production or any business activity. They open the SBU and keeping in different location and give autonomy to them and doing the business. Right? In a parent company, under the parent company, there is a board of director. Under that board of director, there may be regional board of directors. It means a Indian board of director. They will look after the Indian company. Sri Lankan board of director. They will look after the Sri Lankan. Different country and different board of director committee. That's also can have in the parent company. They will look after only the South African company open in South Africa company. So monthly South Africa company will report to the parent company, that board of director. So that board of director will collect all the information from them. So all the board of director under the parent company will have the information of all the companies which we have in different location. So we can have the one place to aggregate all the information and knowledge, right? That's also we can have. So under the geographical basis is we are opening as different SBU in different place. Under the SBU, right, there may be functional basis there, right? So geographical basis broad topic. We are opening a company in a separate country. So in that separate country, we are opening a company. Under that company also we have the finance function, right? That company organized structure may be like the board of director, finance director, HR director, then marketing director, under the finance director, finance department will be there. Functional basis is one of the element in the geographical basis, right? So product basis also we will divide our organization structure. So for example, if you take the Unilever or Emas company, they have the factory in different places in Sri Lanka, right? One factory is only involving to produce the soaps, all item of soaps, right? Baby soap, Lux soap, Dove, all are come under the Unilever brand, right? So if these three brand of the soap, for Lux, Dove, then baby soap, I'll show you, then Pond's, then Sunlight, right? These are soap produced by the Unilever and marketed by Unilever. So if these soaps are producing in one place, right, on their factory will be established, right? Factory will be established like this. Factory will be the production, under the production department that factory will come, right? So production of the soap, right? Production of the soap is done by the factory under the production department, right? In that place we can establish that as a different profit center. So under the profit center, right, soap profit center, under the soap profit center, production department is the under the production department, the factory will there. So factory making the production and then giving to the marketing department. That marketing department also different department under the soap center. So finance department also different department, soap center. So we differentiate our branch or our center as the soap center. Under the soap center, HR department there, finance department there, marketing department, sales department, they are involving in only soap item. That is product basis, right? That soap center may be branch, maybe separate company, Soap Private Limited under the Unilever group, maybe a separate company or it's like a branch, right? So finance department will only involve into prepare the finance report based on the soap sales and soap cost of sales and what are the salary went for this soap production and the other overhead cost. So P&L item having only the soap item, right? So AR products, shampoo item there, then AR coloring there. So different branches given based on the product. Under that also different functional basis structure will be there. So geographical wise we dividing. On the geographical wise also product wise we will divide. Under the product wise we will again divide into the functional basis. So geographical is main thing. Next product wise, right? Under the product wise, then divided by the functional base. Actually under the product wise we will again divided by the brand wise. We will learn that then Dove, Lux and the baby soap and the Pond's, those are soaps, right? Soap available in that name. There's a brand name, right? But all are soap. So under the branch of soap there may be again SBU, different branches for Lux, different unit for Dove, different unit for Sunlight, different unit for Baby Soap. So under that again a functional basis come, right? So first geographical, right? Again next product wise, then brand wise, then functional wise. So this is the maximum classification of the organization, right? Maximum classification is this. Other than this we cannot classify, right? Fifth one is there for maximum classification. Fifth one is metric basis. It means not one person involving in one place. It's like a metric basis. If a project manager is there, this project manager can be used by all the SBUs. Project manager can be used by all the functional basis. It's like a network. Everyone will work in. It's a finance director. They are in the parent company. If finance director, only parent company only having the finance director, but finance manager, all the subsidiary company have the finance manager. So finance director part in each and every subsidiary is done by the finance director, this parent company. He will go there and do his job in that branch only. So he will go another branch and doing his work in that branch. So he will not share this works and this works other persons. So he will involve in many works. It's a metric basis. The organization divided into different functions: purchase, production, each function, manager, etc. Purchase function, production manager. The organization is also divided on the basis of project. Project A. If project A is come, right? Project A is come. So project A is come. The same department managers will there. Everyone will work on that project A. Finish the project A. Then once the finish the project A, project B